Hey everybody, and welcome in. It's round 11 of S7R's Toyota GR Cup Championship. I'm your host, E Dirty Tati. I am joined once again tonight by Hovercraft. Hey Hover.
Uh, Thank you for having me once again, Toddy. I know I missed last round, but I'm excited to go into the penultimate round of the season.
Awesome. Well, you were missed. You were definitely missed. So I'm glad to see you here tonight. As we're starting to close out the season, these are the rounds that really count. This is the penultimate round, like I said, round 11 here at Dragon Trail Gardens in both the GR4 and the GR3 cars. Gardens is the GR4 cars. We will be at the full layout Dragon Trail Seaside in the GR3. So both a treat. And then we just have Fuji left for the end of the season here. The series rules are varied, but for the most part, basically every week there are two races, or every round there are two races there. The GR4s operate under different group rules than the street cars and the other race cars. We'll get into the details later. Let's move forward. Let's talk about our driver lineup tonight. We have Ryder, who is up there, I think, third place in the championship right now, followed by Vid, Shred, Dezob, Jeffrey, Ando, The Truth Serum, Rusty Maggots, Corridor 71, S. Ladler, Stig Xander, Hot Air, Moose, Oak, and Wilcox. Those are our pro drivers. Not all of them will make it in tonight, but most of these drivers should be on track tonight. Our standings after our 10th round, it's really close up top. Shred now leads with 427 points, with Wid having missed the last round. Wid, of course, is in second place, 412 points for him. Ryder still sits in third place, only 38 points behind Shred, so there's still a chance for him here. Rusty Maggot sits in fourth with 365 points. Super S2K, who's been on the rise, is up to fifth place with 361 points. The Truth Serum sits in sixth place with 332 points. Behind him is Hot Air with 299 points. 1 point down from that is Jeffrey in eighth place, 298 points. And then we have Stig Xander in ninth with 292 points, and Endo with 272 points in 10th. Corridor 71, who was just crowned the NRL Division A champion last night, sits in 11th. Sits in 11th with 250 points. And I think we'll leave the 12th through 22nd positions for now, as it's time to focus on those who have a chance for the championship. We have 8 teams competing, of course. S7R Ando's Arsenal, S7R's Truth Demons, S7R's Xander Zone, FFR Team Black, and FFR's Team Orange, Chicane Bang, NVR Team Geneva, and NVR Team Redline. And these are the team standings after the 10th round here. Team Redline, one of the NVR teams, leads it all with 1,521 points. And those Arsenals behind them with 1,487 points. S7R's Truth Demons sits in third with 1,349 points. And fourth, the second NVR team with 1,345 points, rather, is NVR Geneva. FFR Orange is in fifth with 1,233 points. That's the first FFR team on the grid. RWB's Chicane Bang is in sixth with 1,173 points. The last S7R team, Xander Zone, is in seventh with 1,152 points. And then finally, we've got FFR Black in eighth with 937 points. Mind you, all of these standings only have 2 drop rounds calculated. There are 3 drop rounds to be calculated over the course of the season, so standings may move around as that third round is counted. Now, let's get into the details of the rules. So the sprint race rules tonight are as followed. We'll be driving the GR4 GR86 at Dragon Trail Gardens. It'll be a 14-minute qualifier. The race will only be 7 laps, and the grid order will be set fastest first according to the qualifying standings there. We'll have a grid start with a false check. That means drivers need to keep their foot on the brake before they start. Balance of performance is on, but drivers are allowed to affect the brake balance. The required tire is the racing soft tire and fuel usage shouldn't be an issue. They're both set to 1x. And drivers will start with half a tank of fuel at 50 liters. We'll be driving in the afternoon. The weather should be sunny, so those slicks will stay out. And these drivers should have a good, fun, really tight sprint race here. Of course, the GR Cup is brought to you by Trails, and they've been with us since the very first round. If you have any custom construction needs, any projects for the home or commercial, please reach out to them. They can help you out. All right. That's the intro. Kind of rushed through that one, but I felt like I'm just ready because things are so tight. I want to see what happens in the sprint. I want to see what happens in the endurance. Hover, I gave you the results of the last two races. I'll say them again for the crowd here. So last round, the sprint race was won by Super S2K. Shred took second place, and Ryder, aka Yagami, took third place. The Enduro kind of flipped things. Shred won that one. Super S2K took second place, and Ryder actually wasn't on the podium. Alikos took his first podium. But this fight between Shred and Widge, Shred getting two podiums obviously is very helpful to him, but Super S2K is there lurking and taking points. What do you think is going to happen after we calculate these drop rounds? Can Widge still come back from this?
Yeah, he will.
Hmm.
uh,
Not can. He will. Okay. Wid,
uh,
listen. Wid, don't disappoint Hover. You heard it, okay?
Not quite
He
sure
will.
how the points all work, but I'm pretty sure that as long as Shrek gets two good rounds here or two good races with a sprint and an endurance, he will be pretty much right behind Wade in terms of getting the points, if not ahead of him. Regardless of what's going to happen, the next round is really going to be important to see who gets the pro championship.
I think so too. I think regardless of where the points stand right now and who's here and who's not, I think this last round will really, really matter. Wit is not in tonight again. And I understand that we also don't have Jeffrey tonight either. So there are some points up on the board for others to come up, or perhaps even some surprises when there are a couple fewer cars on the grid to fight through to get up to those top three positions. Maybe a point stealer or two here.
Yep. Thinking about
Maybe.
it, it really is going to be very important to see these extra drivers, right? Super S2K may be a little bit behind, and he may be he may have a very small chance of actually getting the championship in the end, but his results really do determine where Shred stands going into the final round.
Yep, absolutely. Well, we are going to be on track very soon here, taking a look at these cars as they line up for the qualifier. Again, it's 14 minutes around here. I really like Dragon Trail Gardens, and I think it's a really fun track to lap too. So it wouldn't surprise me to find out a lot of these drivers have a lot of time, a lot of seat time around here. I think we're going to see some incredible lap times.
Absolutely. Gardens also has a very strange quirk in that it's the two one of the two variations that have rain, but it was the second track layout to be released. The other layout that we'll see in the endurance round is the original layout when GT Sport initially released, but the Gardens layout came out after the Seaside layout, but the Gardens layout has rain while the Seaside doesn't.
Yep, that is correct. And, there have been a million theories around why some tracks have rain and why others don't. I understand that there's a lot. It's more than just adding rain, right? You're talking about being able to process particle effects and a whole new like set of changes to physics, and I can't imagine the complications around it. I'm not a programmer. Not once have I ever done anything like building a video game. But it would be nice to have rain everywhere. One day soon, perhaps. But anyway, We have what we have.
No,
We
that
shouldn't see rain in this race. We shouldn't see rain in this sprint, even though Gardens is capable of it. The weather in the rules said it would just be SO1, so the whole thing will be sunny. So it should be really beautiful here. Like I said, I think we're going to see some incredible lap times. Really, what I meant to say was I think we'll see um, an incredible lap time battle, especially with a longer qualifying here. 14 minutes is plenty of time for qualifying around here, with times being around, like the 140s and stuff like that. Let's see.
absolutely.
We don't have a fastest. Okay, we have a 38.4 for the fastest lap time in practice so far, at least. And that is owned by AMS Super S2K here. So, yeah, these drivers should get a whole lot of laps. They should get really, really confident in themselves. And I think towards the end, we're going to see a flurry of either lap time changes or perhaps, just people pushing it. What happens when you start pushing real, real hard, especially when we're talking about relatively softly sprung cars with full racing soft slicks. I think these cars may get a little unpredictable if you take them too far over the edge.
Absolutely, but this car does glide over the curbs very beautifully. So if there's going to be any error, it's going to come from the drivers. It's not going to come from the track tonight.
Oh yeah, that's the great thing about GR4, right? Like I said, they're relatively soft. Obviously they're race cars, so it's a stiff suspension, but nothing like some of the GR3s and certainly not GR2s. You can really clatter the curves of a lot of these cars, and they'll eat it up because ultimately it's basically just a street coilover system. Maybe slightly more robust just to hold up to hitting curbs and stuff like that. It's nice. It's very nice. Oh, we're starting to reset the track. That means that we'll be getting close to starting here. There may be a couple of resets, but oh no, it's the start. This is the start. Drivers are already heading out onto the track. No waiting here. Some people, might want to wait and give themselves some room. Not these guys. The slipstream is worth a good amount here. Wouldn't you say, Hover?
Absolutely, it's probably worth with the main straight and the back straight and kind of that mini straight at the end of the track. At the end of the lap, I'd say it's about it's gotta be at least 3 to 4 tenths worth.
I agree, definitely. I mean, you do have basically three slipstreaming sections here. One coming up as these drivers come through the first sector. This little it's kind of not the front straight, the middle straight, I guess, and then hard braking zone into a hairpin. Super S2K already making a move over blue gas. I mean, it's just an outlap, so but he's trying to find himself track position and make sure that he doesn't have someone slower than him in front of him. While you do want to slipstream, you don't want to be slowed down around here either. And then after, like you said, after this the quadruple right coming up, you're gonna have that mini back straight, especially with the drag race uphill to a braking zone, and then the front straight. So yeah, three sections were being tucked into somebody's air vacuum would be very beneficial.
Absolutely, especially going on to the main straight and the back straight, right? They're coming off very slow corners, so getting that early end acceleration gives you such a better chance going, competing for the spot.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's Ando mowing the lawn a little bit. That's not how you warm your tires up for your first out lap. And he's going to barely get out of the way of Nuke coming around him there to start his uh, running lap here. And okay, there's Shred. I was about to say, I was like, I don't see Shred. And that's a big deal, but he's here. He just came out of the pits last running in 15th. No slipstream for Shred. So he's not even going to try to get a running mate. He's going to just raw dog this thing and hope for the best. I know he wants to start somewhere up front, and he probably can on pace alone. But I'd be looking for every advantage that I could.
As we see that Super S2K goes back into the pits, I was just going to note that some of the top drivers actually prefer to not have slipstream because a lot of these guys practice by themselves, so they rarely have a chance to get acclimated to slipstream in a qualifying kind of setting.
That's
So that's
fair.
why a lot of drivers prefer no slipstream, so they don't have to worry about balancing the slipstream as well as balancing the dirty air.
Well, that's two of our fastest drivers running without the aid of Slipstream. Both Shred and Super S2K deliberately getting themselves out of the way. Stig leads this thing and will set the first full lap time. Ryder, who is another one of our fastest drivers, I don't think that he's actually close enough to really be getting a slip from Stig. Just looking at the view here, but we'll see those times very shortly here. Stig across the line, just ahead of us, is about to cross the line rather. Should see his time pop up on the bottom left. That is a 140.8. Ryder beats that by a lot, 138.494. We're riding on board with him through the first turn. I really like this view here. More times coming in. Hot Air into second place, Rusty Maggots into third, The Truth into fourth. A lot of people can set themselves between Ryder and Stig, because that 140 is not a good time. He's gonna, and he resets right there as we speak. Probably gonna try something a little bit different here. More times coming in. We still have people who have yet to cross the line. Shred and Super S2K. Shred should be coming right now. He goes into fourth, the 139.2. Super S2K goes where? Did he pit?
Because that was his outlap. Yep, he went back.
Oh,
into the
that
pit.
was his outlap. You're right. You're right. Yep, you're right. So that lap's not going to count. Okay, freaked me out there. I'm like, guys, it's a long quali, but let's not push it. So Yagami, aka Ryder, sits up front by almost half a second above Hot Air, and he's got Clean Air in front of him, so he's not going to get the aid of Slipstream or anything like that. Hot Air comes, he's in second place. He's about to finish up a lap soon here too. Is anyone running together? I see some arrows on screen that look to be a little bit close. But so far, there's Ando. Who's that right in front of him? That's Nuke. Nuke using every last bit of the track, and then some more of the track, and then a little bit beyond that. But no penalty. So hey, fair play there to fully accelerate out of that quadruple right. Let's see if it helps him improve his time. He sits in ninth place with a 140.2. He's about to cross the line now with Ando getting all that tow behind him. I think Ando actually had a better exit. I don't think that helped Nuke at all. And no, he does not improve. In fact, he's half a second slower on this lap than he was on the last one. He's going to let Ando by for turn one here, as Ando really had a good run on him there. But that was kind of funny to see. Mavericks coming out of the pits now. He sits in 12th place as it stands, and he's got some time to put together a couple of laps to maybe set a better time if possible, or at least establish where he really is. That's Shred. He's still in fourth, so he didn't improve his last time. That's what we just saw up front there. I love this livery on Maverick's car. Nice, colorful looking situation. That's Stig going backwards. Wow. Yep, we got a replay of that. Let's check it out. A big boop. I'm guessing he hit the sausage in in the chicane there. Let's see if the camera shows it well. Oh, we're gonna change cameras. That's probably a better idea. Oh, yep. Big sausage boop and big pirouette. Wow. Luckily, not any worse than that. I don't think we have full damage on during qualifying anyway, but Stig, once again, unable to set a lap. Dipshy has not said anything very quick yet, and now he carries a half-second penalty with that nice fun dip livery. I love some of these looks on these cars. Super S2K has gotten himself up front, ahead of Ryder with 138.4, and he's on another outlap. So he went into the pits, I guess, to pick up a fresh pair of softs. Tire wear is not on, but there's still heat and just having the tires be in the optimal window to consider, as Ryder must not be in the optimal window for turn one there, as he went super wide, just understeered off the track there, and is going to pick up a half-second penalty, as if the traveling off track wasn't punishment enough. He tries to clean off his tires there, I guess, whatever that just was. But maybe worth jumping into the pits and taking a page out of Super S2K's book and going to get some nice cool tires. Because it does matter. I think you could probably get two flyers though before you either need to take a cool down lap or yeah, go ahead and jump into the pits and take an out lap because there's no rule against it.
Nope. But the other thing that does help you in terms of going back into the pits and getting some fresh air is just you don't have to worry about any slow traffic. Super S2K, Ryder, these guys have such a massive pace advantage, right? That unless they are literally paired together, everyone else is just kind of going to be a deterrent to their lap time, right? It's kind of going to
Yeah.
be a moving chicane to them. So that's why a lot of these guys, going back to what I said, it's not just balancing dirty air and slipstream, it's also balancing the fact that you don't have to get past a slow car.
Right, right. And of course, you gotta time that pit stop well. Hopefully, you don't come out. Well, I guess if you just reset, you come out when you want to, so you can watch the map and make sure nobody's coming. Let's see where Shred does here. He's going to finish a lap. Can he improve on his time? He's got a 39 flat as his best time. He crosses the line this time with a 38.6. He does improve, but it only brings him closer to Hot Air in third. That's how big the gap was there, actually. He improved by uh, over 4/10 of a second, but not quite enough to get him onto the second or the front of the second row there. Is anyone going to catch Super S2K? I mean, he's obviously up top, but it's not by a lot. 22 thousandths of a second. Okay, it's more now. It's 2/10 now. Yagami is in the pit, so we're not going to see a response from him just yet. Hot Air is the closest right now, who's almost half a second back. And this is going to be his final lap, actually. Wait a minute. Thought we were looking at a 14-minute qualifier. Was that a typo?
It's been 14 laps.
Oh, so I misread. Okay.
I'm not quite sure, to be honest.
Okay. Well, maybe our producer can pop that graphic back up real quick when it makes sense too, because I'm not sure. This is clearly, it seems like a 10-minuter. Ah, it was a typo. Okay. I wondered. I was like, 14 is so random, but maybe there's a reason. And hey, it's the end of the season. Why not? But okay, got it. Shred does not improve, so Shred will stay in fourth place. Who else is going? Super S2K doesn't need to improve if he doesn't want to. Is anyone who's really in contention still running? Not that I can see. Everyone's got their emergency flashers on pretty much. So this is your order. Oh wait, Dipshy is still going. Okay, no, he's not. Anyway, your order is I'll read it when we get to the screen. Let's just watch Super S2K act a fool right here. But this is how race car drivers treat race cars in real life, guys. Yeah,
absolutely.
good. Checker flag going. I guess we're gonna wait for the timer, the run out timer. All right. And here are your results for qualifying. In first place, we've got AMS Super S2K, followed by Ryder, aka Yagami. NVR's Hot Air is in third, Shred in fourth. S7R's Rusty Maggot sits in fourth place, as well as S7R teammate The Truth Serum in sixth. Alikos is in seventh, Ando in eighth place, and in ninth, we've got Arrow. The Stig will be in 10th place. Nuke is in 11th. NVR's Maverick in 12th. Blue Gas in 13th. NVR Bud is in 14th. And Dipshy is in 15th. We got some new names here, don't we, Hover?
Absolutely. I believe some of these guys are the Pro-Am drivers from last round. They started
Ah,
intermixing some of the lobbies. So I believe the highest starting position for the Pro-Am class is Aero, and then
correct.
Stig is a
In my
Pro,
queue.
and
Yep.
then
Oh,
and then technically it would be second Nuke, and then third Maverick, if I believe I'm correct.
got it. Got it. Yep. I was just looking at the standings there. That seems about right. So welcome in pro-ams. Should be fun to see where you sit with the pros, and maybe something to look forward to next season is battling it out with some of these guys. So we
Absolutely.
wait
Some of
while
these
the
guys. Oh,
drivers. Oh, you go ahead.
sorry. I was just gonna say, some of these guys may be promoted up to the class for the next season.
Exactly, exactly. So a nice chance for them to actually race in the lobby with them. Though I know a lot of people practice together, so they probably kind of already know where they sit, where they stand. But we get to put on a show for the audience to actually see it now, which is nice. This is kind of like I don't know if you follow baseball, but in September they have what's called September call ups, and it's basically they'll call up players from like the AAA ball team and say, hey, come play with the big club for a couple of games here at the end of the season, and let's see where you are. We lined up. We're lined up on the grid. False starts, of course, will be penalized, as it says here. We got Super S2K on that front row with Ryder just behind. Let's see if Ryder attacks into the first turn. If he can get a good jump, the lights are out, and he gets a decent jump. He will have the inside. He's going to go ahead and take his rightful place on the racing line, though, behind Super S2K. No challenge there from him just yet. It's not really a braking zone from here in these cars. And who is that challenging around the outside? That's Shred. Is he trying to get around Ryder or Hot Air? For a moment, it looked like he was, but I think he's just right there. I think it might have been the camera angle. So Ryder chases Super S2K through the chicane. They're going to get to this first hard braking zone on the track. This is where a pass would happen if it's going to happen. Don't know if anything's happened in the back. I was looking out for any triangles spinning. I see none, but I do see that a big gap has formed between some of these drivers here. I think between fifth and Alicos, who is under attack by S7R Arrow, has made his way up to seventh already from ninth place, followed by the Stig, who's down to eighth, and the Truth down to ninth. So two S7R drivers down on their newcomer teammate, their Pro-Am teammate, Arrow. I wonder what happened there, but otherwise, it doesn't look like too much more is happening in the back here. Got Maverick, we got Ando, Blue Gas, Dipsheet, and NVR Bud way alone, 11.8 seconds back, but he's paused. Not sure what happened there, why he's paused. He's got engine damage, so something big happened. Perhaps the wall at the chicane, at the end of the chicane, I would imagine. But we come back up front where these guys are all still lined up, one right behind the other. Alicos, who got a taste of the podium last round. I'm sure he wants another one. He'd love a little push from S7R Arrow there, but Arrow's not going to give it to him. Arrow, aggressive early on in the race. He's already picked up 2 positions. He's going to challenge for 7th here in the opening turn of lap 2. And he just gets the overspeed into the chicane over Alicos. And that's another position for S7R Arrow, the rookie driver. First time in the pro lobby, already making a name for himself, making notes. Keep it up, S7R Arrow. We're watching and we see it. So Alicos now staring down the barrel of more S7R drivers, actually. So no friendly faces anywhere to be seen for Alicos. There's 3 S7R drivers behind him in Stig, Nuke, and the Truth. NVR's Maverick still hanging out in 12th place there. It's looking pretty calm in the back. Endo in 13th, maybe under attack by Dipshy soon. Is Bud back in control? Yep, seems to be. Seems to be back in control. Had that engine damage and now sits 17 and a half seconds back in a very short race here. 14 laps, which makes more sense than the 7 laps I said when I read out on the screen. Hover. But I don't know. Hover, what do you? I think a 7 lap shootout probably would have been pretty lit. What do you think?
I think so too, and that's really in line with the sprint races that we've had this season. If anything, this is probably one of, if not the longest sprint race in terms of distance and time. But as I say that, Javier heavily under attack by Shred. Shred goes to the inside, makes Javier flinch, but still pulls ahead.
Yeah, they're definitely keeping him honest. Trent hasn't been able to get past him neither in qualifying nor in the race, but the he's definitely all over the back of him. He's not giving him any breathing room, but he can't quite figure out a way to get around him. I mean, the slipstream is valuable, but it's very possible that even these straights are a little too short to really make something happen, even in the slip. Because look, we just watched him. He was basically tucked up under his wing for that entire straight there, and just couldn't pull out. Interesting. Who's that? Is that side by side action? No, it's not. I thought that was Alikos coming back on Arrow in the background, but Arrow still leads him in sixth place. He's 2.8 seconds behind Rusty. I want to see if he's able to catch up to Rusty, if maybe he and Alikos will cooperate a little bit here to try to get up to that front pack, as Rusty is not quite lost touch with Shred, but he's over a second, or almost a second rather, behind Shred and Hot Air. But of course, if Shred continues to be aggressive, and it looks like he might try something here. No, he's not going to in the double left-hander to end the lap. I thought he was going to. Hot Air really not even flinching. Doesn't even look like he's going to go defensive. He's like, whatever happens, happens. I don't care. And Shred unable to get a reaction out of the third place driver right now. But I see him trying.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. It does seem like he backed out of it.
Yeah, I think he backed out of it because he just knew that if he took the position right there and then, Javier was just going to use the slipstream to get past him, right? No matter how well of a move Shred does on Javier going into the final two corners, Javier is still going to stay really close behind him.
Yeah, that's a pretty fair assessment as well. Though he might also notice, hey, the slip isn't giving me much. Maybe it won't give him much in this race. But yeah, you're right. It seems like he's hesitant to make the move, even in places where you'd think that he's able to. But again, Hot Air just isn't even flinching, right? Like, he's not biting, he's not seeing Shred, poke his nose out and decide, oh, let me go defensive here. He's just taking his line. They're 1.9 seconds behind Ryder, who himself is 2.8 behind Super S2K. So it's not really a battle for first. He's not able to keep up with Super S2K. Third and fourth seem to be kind of on their own pace, and that time hasn't really increased or decreased by a lot, at least. So I think Ryder is just kind of chilling. Hot Air is driving like he's chilling, but he can't be. Rusty Maggots is here now. Rusty is right there. He's 0.7 seconds behind Shred. So he is in slip, and he should be able to get closer and maybe look to have something happen for himself here. That also might put the battery in Shred's back to make a decisive move on Hot Air. I'm gonna go. I don't even want to go away from this. I kind of want to see what's happening in the back, but I feel like any minute now, Shred is gonna do something to put a car between himself and Rusty. I don't know. If they have different lines through that chicane too, you can tell some drivers aren't afraid to hop over the curb. They know exactly where to place the car to make it work without disturbing it too much. And here's the move. Here it is. Shred in the braking zone into the hairpin. Can he get it turned around? Yes, he can. And Hot Air goes off track just a little bit. He's a little bit wider. Oh, big off there for P5. Hot Air. Hopefully we got a replay. I can't tell if he was pushed off track. He's no longer P5. Sorry. Where is he now? Gosh, he's P12. Oh man, Hot Air, big shunt. You can't tell if he was pushed or if he just took himself wide when he was giving Shred room there for the hairpin. Here comes Shred around the inside. Hot Air out there. He's not quite in the slippery stuff. A little bit there. The car just stops turning for him, and then he comes back on. The curb disturbs the car. He oversteers into Rusty Maggots, who then knocks him into the wall. I think that's just a racing incident there. Unfortunate. So he's way back in the order. P14 now for Hot Air, 5 laps into the race. There's a chance he can pick up positions, but he's not going to be fighting anywhere near podium position, I don't think, for this race.
Unfortunately, not. There's just not that many laps in general, right? We're almost halfway through this race, and it's already taken so much time for some of these guys to be able to catch up and try to make a move. And yeah, unfortunately, I think Jair is just gonna have to keep his head down and hopefully make a comeback going into the endurance race.
Yeah, that's basically it. Maybe he can get himself into the top 7. That wouldn't be impossible, I don't think, but he's pretty far down. But he's not way in the back. I think who's in the back there is Bud, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's the last arrow on the track map. I think Hot Air came out pretty close to the rest of the pack. So if he can be aggressive, right? Even with the tire wear, if he can be aggressive, he may be able to get himself into the top 7, and that would put him in the front for the endurance. Wouldn't that be a comeback, huh?
That would be certainly best case scenario, and definitely something people have done before in this series. We've had
Yep.
seen some very great climbacks, even in the sprint races.
Exactly. Now Rusty is in 4th place, and the Truth is up into 5th place. So that means there was a big change of positions there. Alikos is back up to 6th. S7R Arrow down to 7th place. So I think maybe something happened to him, or it could be that front right that's bothering him there. That doesn't look too good in comparison to everyone else. Maybe he's been leaning on it a bit too much, and it's an important tire for this first turn here at least, and then of course for the hairpin at the end of the second straight. I think really though you should be able to survive with that tire dying, but those 2 corners are pretty fast and crucial. And as we say that, he almost goes out wide into turn 1 again. That tire starting to let him down. It's maybe overheating on him. uh, it might help him take it easy for a couple of laps. Maybe not let Stig there past you, but slow down just a little bit and let that tire kind of recover. You still have half the race to go on it. I'm surprised to see that tire being the one that's the problem. And now that I think about it, maybe I haven't done very many tire wear races around here, but I would think that triple left is a killer. Oh, but I
Well,
guess you got the double, you got the first turn, you got the hairpin, you got the double right at the end. Yeah. Alright.
yeah, well, typically when it comes to tire wear, the most problematic tire is more dependent on which direction the track goes. So
Yeah.
in this scenario, we see if you try to, I guess, make the track a circle, you would say that it would go counterclockwise, and with that, the outside tire of a counterclockwise circuit would be the right-hand tires. So no matter what the circle formations are, or whatever the corners profiles are, the right tires are always going to take the most speed, and in this case, it's going to be the front right. The only exception to this rule in general is, I believe, Suzuka, because you have an underpass and it crosses the track over. So that is a little bit of a special exception.
Yeah. Yep. That's right. You said there's still 10 and 8. Ah, yes,
Oh,
yes, at Suzuka, yes, that's what I was gonna say. It kind of evens out, but it is a little bit imbalanced. Maverick has a 1 second penalty. That's a huge penalty around here. That's not good at all. You serve those. Gosh, where do you serve penalties? Is it right after the triple right?
I thought it was down that hill. I thought it was on that straight.
You know what? It might be. It might be on the front straight. You're right. Either way, I know it's in a bad place. I just can't remember exactly which of the bad places it is.
I think it's
Mavericks.
the straight before the two corners. I think the last two corners.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was talking about. After the triple right-hander here, this little back straight going up the hill towards the last two corners. And it looks like he's getting the warning that he's coming up to the line, so that might be correct. Yep, there it is. There's the marker. So uh, definitely not a great spot. You're probably going to get beat into those corners if anyone is close. So this race goes from bad to worse for Maverick, who now sits in P14 behind even the AMs outside of NVR's Bud. Up front, Super S2K leading by almost 6 seconds. It's easy street for him. It's basically his race to lose here, as Ryder's also just maintaining position in second place. He's not really under attack by Shred, who inherited third, but hasn't quite run away from Rusty Maggots and hasn't made any leeway towards Ryder. And Rusty almost looking like he wanted to dip his head into on the inside there, but Shred shuts that door. So now Rusty gonna try to attack him into the hairpin, looking for an over under. Nice little undercut move there. Can he get the run towards the next corners? Not quite. Shred is still alongside. That's going to give Rusty a little bit of trouble coming into the turn. Yes, it does. Shred not giving him the space. Rusty's line is compromised, but will have the inside for this next turn here. Shred still looking to get the run on him, though, for the triple right-hander. Rusty now has the inside for that. Shred can try to undercut and out-accelerate him into the last two corners, but I think Rusty is still able to get his car in the right position. Apexes that perfectly. That was necessary. You have to apex that last one perfectly if you're going to shut down that move, and sure enough, he does. He does not defend into the second to last corner, though, so Shred dives into the inside there. Rusty will try to slow down, out accelerate him out of the last one and get in his slipstream. Can he get him into turn one? He's not going to get a lot of slip. He has to duck out right away, but he's right alongside him. He does get a little bit of overlap, but it's not enough. He's going to tuck in behind him, and Shred gets that move done. That was a battle. That was like the whole last sector and some of the first before we got that finalized. Meanwhile, the truth like, me, please, someone mess up, please. Unfortunately, nothing to be gained there by the truth except to get a little bit closer to the battle. But Shred clawing his way to third place, tooth and nail. And now it's lap 10. Now he's got to chase Ryder down. Sorry, he didn't claw his way to third. Sorry, clawing his way back to third after Rusty looked like he had it. Rusty, though, not out of it. He could try it again. He's got plenty of time, and he hasn't fallen too far off of him. Do we see a big difference in tires?
That's what I was exactly gonna say. The tires, I think, Rusty has a little bit of an advantage compared to Shred, and maybe Shred can recompose himself and not let it be a significant disadvantage, but I think that was the exact thing that allowed Rusty to even try to sniff third. Shred really doesn't need to lose any positions now. He's already losing a lot of time to Super S2K. This little fight is hurting his chances massively with getting P2.
That's right. I mean, the only consolation here for him is that if he stays in P3, he'll be ahead of S2K, and he'll have Ryder there as a little bit of a buffer for him. But I'm sure he'd prefer to have the points of P2, maybe even P1, right? And let fate get him through the opening laps of the endurance race. Rusty doesn't seem to be getting closer. In fact, he's under attack by the Truth Serum. They're both S7R drivers, but they're on separate teams in this championship. And I think Rusty Maggot's team is slightly ahead of the Truth's team here in the championship. I can't remember exactly, but either way, a fight between these two teammates does not help them catch up to Shred for sure. Oh, Rusty is almost there again. And does he know that he has the advantage over Shred in these left-hand corners? I don't know. But the left-handers are pretty good chances for passes around this track. So, you know, if there's a kind of corner to have a benefit in, it's that one, or an advantage in, it's that. Rusty's on Truth's team. Ugh. Never mind. See a battle between teams. No, it's fine. My bad. I thought they were on separate teams, but okay. I don't know why I thought that. My fault. So they're on the
Acting
same
like they're
team.
on the same team.
Yep, same team, different liveries. Okay, got it. Well, then they better work together to catch up to Shred, because Shred is definitely not on either one of their teams. Shred isn't really running away with it though either. I feel like this is a race where he doesn't quite have pace, right? I don't know what his best lap was, but he's doing high 39s and 40s. He got a 43 a few laps ago there. But you know, nowhere near S2K, who's doing very consistent low 39s. Don't see a single 40, 38 several laps ago. So he's kind of just hit the 39s here. And even Ryder has more 39s than 40s on the board right now. But Shred just not really in there, not really in their league as far as consistency and lap time goes in this race. And that's hurting him here for sure. Ooh, Rusty has a 1 second penalty. Where did he pick that up? Maybe in the chicane? I'm not really sure. I'm not sure where people are getting that full second from, but I think that's the only place that makes sense to get it. Huge problem there for him. I mean, we saw Maverick take a 1 second penalty. Definitely lost the position, though he was already pretty far back. And with this one, I mean, the Truth is right there. He's gonna let Truth by. Just go ahead and hey, you can go ahead and get by. No problem here. I've got to serve this penalty anyway. Go get Shred. And then you've got Alikos behind as well. He's going to lose that position. Yeah, he loses the position to Alikos. He won't lose another. But can he stay in Alikos' slip? No, he's already out of it. He's already past the second out. That 1 second penalty is a huge deal right there, huh? Sheesh.
Yep.
Automatic loss of 2 positions. Well, one of them was before the penalty line, but Rusty definitely didn't want to fight it as hard as if he, if he didn't have the penalty, he would have fought it way harder.
Yeah, I think he would still lost those 2 positions even if he hadn't just given that to the Truth. So the Truth chasing Shred down now, and we're gonna see if he's got the pace to do something about it. His tires don't look as good as Rusty's, but aren't nearly as bad as Shred's. Look at Shred's front right. I mean, that is done for. Of course, we don't have that many laps left here, but if the move is on, it's got to be made soon. It's lap 13 of 14. Behind these drivers, you've been really focused on what's happening in the top 5 here. You got Stig, still followed by S7R Arrow in 8th place. Ando is up to 9th place now. Nuke down into 10th. Hot Air's made his way to 11th. Blue Gas is in 12th. Dipshy in 13th. Dipshy was fighting with Ando for a little bit there, but Ando, of course, has made his way up the order a lot, and we haven't seen much from Dipshy since then. Maverick sits in 14th place, and then we got Bud in 15th, who started out this race pretty far back in the order, and actually with Maverick's bad luck is actually only 12 seconds back. I think it was 15 when we first started the race, 15 or maybe even 17. But this is the final lap for our race leader. This is him in turn 1, AMS Super S2K, who has led this thing from beginning, pole position, never really had to fight for the position. Ryder, of course, was right with him for the first few sectors, maybe even the first lap in its entirety, but very quickly, Super S2K showed his pace, his superior pace around here, and he's got 11 seconds on Ryder now, and he's just gonna take it home. Take it real easy. I'm gonna check with Shred and Truth in this battle for P3 and keep an eye and catch Super S2K coming around to win the race here. But I want to see if the Truth can get close enough to make something happen. Not in the hairpin. Can he get closer into the triple right-handers and then towards the double left? Through this sort of S section here, and now through the triple right. He is closer. This will be his last chance coming up in these next couple of corners. McNaughty, I'm gonna have you stand by to catch P1 crossing the line. Actually, we should probably look at that now. That's Super S2K taking the checker flag. Let's go back to this battle for third. The Truth runs a little bit wide. He's looking for a better exit through the last corner there. Can he get the run he needs down towards the line? It's down on the far side of the straight, but it's not far enough. Shred holds on to third place. The Truth will take fourth behind him. Of course, Ryder took second up there. Now Alikos in the fifth, Rusty in sixth. The Stig will cross for seventh with the Ando behind in eighth. Arrow, sorry, in ninth place there. That was Nuke in 10th, flashing the lights, taking 10th place points. Hot Air will finish in 11th after his valiant fight in third early on in the race. Blue Gas, one of our AM drivers, Pro-Am drivers, in for 12th place points, as well as Dipshy in 13th. Maverick will come through the last couple of corners here very leisurely with almost no tread left on that front right tire. That thing is gone, baby. That is down to the rim, basically. He will cross the line in 14th place. And then NVR's Bud, another Pro-Am driver who got stuffed in here with the pros, will cross the line for 15th place. His tire barely looks better than Maverick's. And that's our sprint race for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Super S2K, another win. So full points, 40 points, is it? No, 22 for the sprint. So another 22 points taken off the board away from both Shred and Wid. Shred, of course, takes third place. That's 18 points. And then Ryder takes another 20 points. So I think Ryder should maintain his second place standings here. But it gets ever closer and further away from Wid. If you ain't first, you're last. So our race order here, our full finish, we'll read it again. That's AMS Super S2K takes first place, Yagami, aka Ryder, in second. Shred will take third place, S7R's The Truth Serum in fourth, a nice sneaky fourth place there actually. Alikos to fifth place, Rusty Maggots in the sixth. The Stig will grab seventh place, and Ando is in eighth place. In ninth, newcomer S7R Arrow, after a nice fight to get out of ninth, he ends up where he started. S7R's Nuke will take 10th place, NVR's Hot Air in 11th. Blue Gas in 12th and 13th, we have Dipshy. In 14th, we've got NVR Maverick, and closing it out in 15th place, that's NVR Bud. That's a full lobby, guys. Full lobby of Dragon Trail. That was fun.
Absolutely.
But we move on to the full layout. Dragon Trail, the OG. It launched with the launch of GT Sport. Do you like that track cover?
Yeah, I think it's a cornerstone to the tracks that GT Sport had, and I know it's a fan favorite to this day. I think it's whenever you want to do a quick race online, it's a very common track to find, especially at the beginning of the night. Like I said, I find it very confusing that this layout didn't get rain while the Dragon Trails Gardens did, but you know, that's just how the developers look at it. As we see now, we have the feature rules.
Actually, I can't see that. Why can't I see that? Oh,
well,
I see it right here. There. Yeah, go ahead and read it out. My Discord's doing a thing.
No worries. Well, as you see it here, I hope the viewers can see it. It's going to be the Group 3 car for the endurance race. It's going to be a 29-lap endurance race, as we had done all season. P1 through P7 from the sprint race is going to be now in reverse, so I believe the stage should be taking pole position. Going to be a rolling start. BOP and brake balance are allowed to be, brake balance and aero are allowed to be tuned, but everything else is under BOP regulations. Every driver must take 2 compounds. It's 2 times tire wear and fuel. Everyone starts on a full tank. We're going to be doing this in the evening, so get ready to see that beautiful sun on the water side. And then weather should be SO1, equal conditions off, and then the time multiplier will be set at 1.
Thank you. And I did figure out what was going on. Thank you again to our sponsor, by the way, Trails, and they do custom construction stuff. So, home projects. If you have a whole new idea, or if you're looking for a template, even they have stuff that's already like kind of pre-made. Like, hey, you like the little house on the prairie look? They got you. Here are the plans, and they can even help you figure out your contractor and all of that, depending on where you are. Trails End, thank you for all of your help this season thus far. We were talking about Dragon Trail being a cornerstone track. Yes, you're absolutely right. Like it's almost tradition. If you're going to start an evening of open lobbies, you start at Dragon Trail to fill it up because you're going to get plenty of drivers who want to race there. It's a tried and true. I definitely love that track. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely, and it comes with the notorious chicane of death. The
Yes.
chicane that, for whatever reason, the developers thought was a great idea to be added into the game. They designed it, they included it. It's been notorious amongst all GT drivers, but it's iconic at this point.
It is iconic. It is iconic. And it's kind of a rite of passage when you finally figure out how to be consistent through it, right? Like I remember everyone having that moment where you're like, I figured out the chicane of death. That does not mean it will not get you. I don't know any drivers who could guarantee that they'll get through it without suffering. It's petit moi, if you will. That that means something different. I'm gonna use a different word there. But anyway, the chicane of death will get you. Point is the point. I think it's hydraulic, or maybe it's like a sort of quantum technology. It just moves. I know it moves. I promise you, it moves. It jumps in the way, and you just can't see the mechanism by which it does it. But it does. It's alive. I know this.
The first ever dynamic corner to be put in any racetrack.
Oh my gosh. That's the next frontier. I do not have control. I'm trying to gain control so I can get on the screen. I think I have it now. It's coming. Um yeah,
We
anyway,
apologize.
we do apologize. Technical issues happening. But we're in the GR3s today. So these are driver selected GR3s. And I think one of the great things about this track is that it suits a lot of different kinds of cars.
Absolutely.
I enjoy this in the Corvette GR3, and I really also enjoy it in the 911. I think the 911 is freaking perfectly geared for this track, quite frankly. Um, but I've also had a good time in the GTR and in the M6. I think it's just one of those tracks that suits almost anyone in your favorite car, which is another thing that makes it so popular.
It is definitely one of the tracks that are, it's just really well designed, and there's always kind of this debate in the GT community of, oh, which track should if you want to make one fictional track real, what will you decide? This is one of those tracks that is commonly, stated as.
Oh yeah, this because there's so many passing opportunities like this right here. This is Nuke going into the first chicane over NVR, but that's a passing point right there. Oh, and we're gonna go away from this. We're starting the race now. It is a rolling start. We're gonna go ahead and watch it from P1. Ah, yes, thank you. Uh, Thank you, Mignati. We're going to watch from P1 here and see the opening lap. Now, the chicane here this is not the chicane of death. However, we've also seen many deaths into this first chicane. So let's see how these drivers navigate it. Stig will lead Rusty. Oh, we're red flagging. We're red flagging this race here. I think we have a glitch. Ah, yes. Bud just got booted. So drivers will reset themselves back into the pit lane until we can figure out what's going on. Maybe there'll be a reset happening here, but we'll get the grid back on track.
I apologize, everyone.
No
Hopefully, with
problem.
next month's update, we will still have glitches, but just different ones. So, it's a new surprise for next month.
Yes, yes. Also that. I think this would make a great real world track. No, I'll be honest. The chicane of death is a little bit sketchy to say. Hey, yeah, let's put that in real life. I don't. What? But then like tracks like Macau exist, right? So you're like, well, yeah, crazy street track. It works out, but yeah, this can be really fun. It's a really beautiful venue. It's by the ocean. You can see like a cruise ship in the background. So, I'm assuming there's a major port around there somewhere. Um, Easy to get the camera crews and the cars in, right?
Absolutely.
Lots of spectator
Uh,
areas, good views for the spectators, and then lots of elevation change too. That's the other fun thing about this track. It's
it
like every
is,
corner
and
has elevation change.
depending on which call it, what do you call it? Depending on which direction you go, the elevation changes really affect the corners.
They do. They do. I kind of forget that this track is also fun backwards. You're right. It's um it's one of the few tracks that I think kind of flows both ways. The chicane of death seems extra heinous the other way around, but maybe that's just because we're a little less used to it. Ooh, Rusty, a little stuck on the wall there. Just showing the driver point of view so you get an idea of here we are through the chicane of death. There it is. It is almost blind. I want to say it's blind at the entry for sure. The exit's blind at least, and you just have to trust that it's there, and that you know it. In a late apex through this turn, though I think you can apex early as well, but I prefer late apex for a nice exit for the uphill run towards the start finish line. Super fun track and very fast. And like I said, lots and lots of opportunities for battling and passing. This is one such corner here. This track is, I mean, it's a triangle. It's shaped like a Dorito. It's like Croatian spa almost, just a shorter straight. But at a broadcast camera view through the chicane of death there, it's actually a really big chicane. When you don't, it's so fast, you don't realize how long it is because you're going through there at such a high rate of speed, but it's actually a very long chicane. But it feels much shorter because of how quick it is. Got a message. We'll be starting this thing in 1 minute. So drivers just taking these last second chances to. What? Oh gosh, yes, I see it now. I've seen this before. I think you have to restart the lobby. Ooh, Arrow just getting onto the curb there. Those curves, that's one of the deaths that we talked about in the first chicane. It's not called the chicane of death, but if you don't respect those curbs on the outside of it, it will become one. It will become the other chicane of death, and that's just what happened to Arrow. It's so hard to catch that. Sometimes, if you're lucky, you can catch that snap, but these chicanes are, I mean, not chicanes, these curbs. There we go again. These curbs are huge. And if you get too far over them, then you basically are grinding. It's basically a board slide down the curb with the flat bottom of the car. Cars all set up through the last turn here.
Let's
You
do
got
this one more time.
2 tire compounds required. I think I mostly saw mediums in the field and for people practicing, but there may be a mix. The Stig up front will be on the mediums. So no plan to like grab the softs and like run away with it real fast or anything like that. He's just gonna keep it cute. And we are off. Nicely lined up there, but he's already under attack by Rusty because that Aspen is so freaking quick. Rusty overshoots the corner though, and Stig able to try to come back on him, and does in fact come back around him on the outside of the chicane there. That gives Alikos a chance to have a peek as well. He's in third place. Oh, and 3 don't go into that corner, so Alikos will stay in third place behind these two drivers. Rusty out wide behind him. It looks like there's a lot of damage going on here. Ryder to second, the Truth to third. What just happened? Do we have a replay of any? We're not going to go to the replay yet, but I need to figure out what just happened. I think some people got hit. The Truth is in the third place now. Rusty's in fourth. AMS Super S2K already up to fifth place after starting in seventh. Alikos in sixth, and Ando's in seventh place. Where is Shred? Shred, who should have started this thing in eighth or in sixth, or sorry, no, in fifth. He's in 10th. So something big happened at the start of this race here. Let's see as they come through the chicane of death for the first time. Ryder clatters the wall around on the outside. He's gonna get passed by the Truth into the last corner there. Is he also going to lose a position to Super S2K? Yes, he does. Super S2K is into third place already, and he's attacking the Truth around the inside of the final corner here, and he's going to take second from the Truth. Super S2K from seventh to second, but there's more happening in the background. Shred back up into eighth place because of whatever just happened in the last corner there. I saw a lot of tire smoke, and we just don't have enough replay capability. McNaughty is stressed in the booth. I'm sure he is. But what is happening here? These drivers have not settled down from their first lap. There's Maverick elbowing his way through for 10th place. Dipshy, and we have a spinner. We have a spinner, 2 spinners. Who is that? That's Rusty in P14. That is Hot Air. Rusty started this thing in, well, this incident, he starts in 5th place. And what happens just out on those curves? Yep, just gets that snap right there. And then Maverick, I think, or Hot Air rather, just did it to himself. I don't think he got collected. He just probably made the same mistake in the background there. This has been chaos, Hover.
Yeah, all these drivers were just trying to fight for all their positions. I think Shred in the back, what happened was he was trying to make a move on Rusty on the opening lap, going into turn 4, I believe. He tried to dive down the inside of both Alikos and Rusty. Just was a horrible miscalculation, and I think he got spun in that corner going all the way down to 10th, but now he's made up his way back to 6th.
He has, and here's S2K in 2nd place here on Stig. I thought you might see him try to make a move into the last corner here, and spinner in the background. That's the Truth. He got on the throttle too fast there. It's easy to do. Trying to get a good run up that hill behind these drivers, and so many unfortunate. Oh, yikes. That's Ryder, who's all the way down to P12. Just barely missed hitting him. The Truth will come back on track. Oh my gosh, do we have a replay? We do have a replay of that, of somebody getting it into the chicane. Who was it? We're not sure who it was, but somebody also had a moment in the chicane. That's up ahead. That has to be Blue Gas in P10, I believe. Yeah, so Dragon Trail living up to its reputation. I mean, it's a great track. It's a fun track. We say we want it in real life, and there's the Truth spin right there. But it's also one of the most dangerous tracks that PD has ever put out. Polyphony Digital, they're so good at creating original tracks. And some of them, like this one, are good for chaos. As we say that Super S2K has used that chaos to his advantage, and he now leads this race. We're only 3 laps in, almost at the end of 3 laps in, as it's S7R Era is making a move for 2nd place over Stig, the newcomer here, and he got a nose ahead of him. He's now in 3rd officially, but he's still not out of it yet. He's got the inside for the left, and slides out wide into the wall. Stig is gonna go ahead and keep 2nd place. Shred Now fighting Stig for second into drag race to the first turn. What is happening? There's so much going on. We can't take a break. Stig into third, Shred out of nowhere into second. I didn't even know he'd made his way this far up the order. Ando is in the fourth. S7R Arrow recovers to fifth place behind him. And I think he I'm not sure if he did that to himself or if Stig got into him there a little bit. Maybe a combination of both. Again, it's so easy to get on the throttle too soon coming out of that corner because you want to catch someone, and that is our race leader, Super S2K. We have a replay. What just happened? He's in first place. It looks good. He was minding his business. It's a sunny day. Too much curb in the kink, and that sends him out wide before the first of the three major hairpins on this track. And unfortunately, turning left is not the same as turning right. There's no more track there. And he's going to come out. He's in seventh place behind Alikos. So basically starting over. This is where he started the race. P7.
I think Alikos just went wide.
Alikos just went off track. Yeah. Alikos. Oh my gosh, man. He just outbraked himself in the corner. I thought that maybe he'd gotten the shake and bake by Super S2K, but coming out P11 means he went to the wall or something. Yeah, oh, way too deep on the brakes. Just can't get it to turn and right into the wall. He is going to have damage. It should eventually fix itself. Yes, it has fixed itself. He is under attack here for P11 by Rusty Maggots, and Rusty will take it. Rusty himself on a recovery drive after a big mistake for him. I can't keep up with who's had a spin and who hasn't at this point, so I don't remember when it happened to Rusty, but I know a bad thing happened to Rusty too. And wow, these opening laps, we're only on lap 5. Hover.
Well, at this point, I think I don't even think this podium that we're seeing is even guaranteed. A Shred somehow going all the way down to 10th, possibly even 11th, and then going all the way back up to P1 with Ando and Arrow. Arrow, a Pro-Am, taking the last podium spot of the Pro Lobby is no small feat, even with all the luck, and I think he's even going to make Ando honest by the end of the race.
I think so. So, I mean, it's 29 laps. We're only 5 laps in. Of course, there is going to be, fuel and tire to take into account. You have to use 2 compounds. Everyone has to pit. So, Hover, if you are one of the drivers who maybe started somewhere in the top 6 or 7, and you've had a big moment, like, what do you do? How do you try to recover?
I think with just how much unpredictability there is, I think you gotta lean into the chaos a little bit, right? If you're on the mediums, try to keep going on your normal strategy and hope that once you get the softs back on, you have a little bit more stability and can mistake so far out from the defecate.
Oh my gosh, and that was the truth who just passed them, who just barely squeezed by between him and the wall. There's Ryder. He's going into the chicane of death. He probably got caught in the chicane and it just took him that long to recover. No, he gets into the back of NVR, but he's just got more speed through the chicane. Gets in, and then that was Rusty, I think. Touched Rusty. Maverick just barely gets by him, and then here he's gonna back up, and then the truth. Oh, he doesn't. We don't get to see that part, but man, Ryder gets clattered. He had so much damage. Here he is with the Pro-Am blue gas. Now he gets to sniff at some action, and he's like, "Oh, I want it." And he gets past Ryder into the first chicane there, blue gas into 14th. I think that might be the first time he wasn't in last place. What is? Oh no, is somebody else pointing the wrong way? We are getting reports that the truth might have just crashed. Let's see if that's the case. Yeah, in that first hairpin, this is where we saw Super S2K have his moment. Too much curb, but the truth manages to hold on to it. So into the pin. Nope, just a little bit wide. He's okay. Misses the apex, but hey, rather that than a full spin there. But the truth back by like 8 seconds on hot air in 12th. There's Alikos down to 11th. He had his own moment into the wall. that we saw a couple of laps ago with Super S2K chasing him down. We got Maverick into 10th place here. We've seen him with some battling, but I don't think a big issue for him. Rusty Maggots, we said have a couple of moments. He tapped Ryder as he was coming off the wall just a lap ago. NVR Bud, our Pro-Am driver, into 8th place so far. Well done for him. We got Dipshy in 7th, another one of the Pro-Am drivers, 2 of them in the top 10 here. Then Nuke into P6. He's had a pretty quiet race so far, running on those racing mediums. Super S2K, who we saw get up to 1st place, end up in a wall, and now he sits in 5th. We got the Stig, who was once leading this race, and he's lost a lot of positions down to P4, but could be worse. Oh, we just lost Ryder. He's got a disconnect from Ryder. So he will no longer be in this race. Ando, all the way up to P3 after starting this race, I believe P10, if I'm not mistaken. S7R Arrow ahead of him, even into P2. The Pro-Am making another statement in the beginning of this race. Now, I think S7R Arrow wants us to know that he belongs. Ooh, Ando gets into the wall, and he does pick up damage. He's got bad damage, front, left, and right. I don't think he picked up that right-hand damage there, but definitely that front splitter. So Ando is going to be on the back foot for a sector or so here. And that's just going to give Arrow even more room to run away. But the real winner here so far, at least, we're not even halfway through, but Shred, it's like the Red Seas have parted for him after it looked like the race was going to start really badly. He was down in 10th place, right, Hover?
Yeah, all the way down to 10th, even maybe 11th, to be honest.
Yeah, at some point. And now he sits in 1st place by 5 seconds there. Yeah, it's looking great. Who is that way in last by? Oh, that's Blue Gas. 24 seconds behind the Truth. Didn't we just see him getting into it with we have a battle for P3, so we're gonna go into that. That's Ando and S7R Arrow. Oh no, that's Ando and Super S2K, who has gotten past the Stig for 5th place. Stig was in, yeah, he was in 4th. He wasn't that close behind Ando, but they've all caught up now. So Super S2K trying to get his way back up to the top. Will Ando fight him, or will he decide, hey, this isn't my battle? You know, I've never really been in a battle with Super S2K. I'm sitting in 3rd. I think it's the highest positioning Ando's had all season long. You know, does he fight, or does he decide to take it easy and get what he can get?
You know, if I was Ando right now, I would immediately let Super S2K by, right? Ultimately, Shred and Super S2K are the cream of the crop, and it's going to be very unrealistic, especially only on lap 8, to be able to snap a position over one of those two. So what I would do is let Super S2K by, let him go by easy so he gets a faster run at Arrow. Hopefully, Arrow fights Super S2K and closes the gap for Ando to take that last podium spot.
I think that's smart. You know, I agree. The fight isn't between Ando and Super S2K for sure. It never has been. However, there is a chance to get S7R Arrow, get that rookie, and show him where his place is. Like you said, let Super S2K up front, get a nice slipstream off of him. Super S2K might be trying to take the position here into the S's. It's hard to pass around here, and yeah, sure enough, Ando not really giving it to him either. I wouldn't say that Ando's fighting, but it's not the same as letting him by either. So it's like pick one, like you are slowing him down. Ando does decisively go defensive there. So I would say, okay, now I'll say yes, Ando is fighting into the second hairpin as they come towards the bus stop chicane rather. Super S2K will just have a nose ahead of him and have track position, and he gets ahead of him for 3rd place before they get into the chicane. Oh, death. Ando will have to be ginger through there in that dirty air to survive it, and he does a good job staying with them as well. That's the other thing with the chicane of death. Oh man, you can think you have it, and then you follow behind someone else and your car just don't turn. Man,
with the corner changing.
Oh yeah. Oh man, when it jumps out that last couple of inches that needed to catch your front bumper. I hate that place. But Super S2K ahead and already pulling out a gap. It's almost a second on Ando and Stig, who for a moment looked to be side by side going into the chicane, but Ando will stay ahead of his teammate Stig there. These two are on different teams. I know that much. The teams are named after them. Ando's Arsenal and the Xander Zone, I think is what it's called. So these two would be fighting for championship points for their teams, if not amongst themselves. I don't know that they're close to each other in the points in the standings, but I think their teams. I don't think their teams are either. Ando's team is in second in the standings, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and then like Xander's down in like fourth or fifth, if I'm not mistaken.
I think they're in seventh, if I remember correctly.
Oh, further back than I thought. Okay.
Yeah, because Stig's team was like rated after the first round, so they didn't get that full round to score points. If I remember correctly.
That sounds about right. Super S2K is only 9.7 seconds behind Shred, and we're not even halfway through this race. It's lap 10 of 29, so we're a little over a third done with the race here. I think there's a chance that we could see a battle for first between those two drivers.
Absolutely. No, I agree with you there. Super S2K has really dominant pace at the moment. And that's why I say, right, Shred and Super S2K, I don't know who's going to win, who's going to finish second, but the top two spots are going to be, decisively obtained by those two guys. So the last spot is going to be up to Arrow, Ando, or Stig as to who will get the final podium spot.
Agreed. And that is our prediction, of course, assuming everything goes perfectly. But the first 5 laps showed us that they will not and probably won't. It'll probably continue in that way, especially as these tires wear down. The cars will get a little faster. The fuel is wearing down. These drivers will get bolder, but those curbs won't get any easier. Those mid-engine cars won't get any less tail happy. And Maverick will be thanking, I don't know who he thinks, whether it's the racing gods or a different god, or maybe just the god of Michelin tires that he was able to hold on to that. But yeah, seat damp moment for sure there for Maverick. As we're going through the order, he is followed by Hot Air, who now probably got a nice little sniff of, hey, keep making mistakes. I don't think that Ferrari loves the curbs too much. Alicos in another mid-engine car, he's up to P10. He was P11 for a little bit. I don't know if he's gained a position on track or if rider disconnecting affected that. The Truth in P11 after having some terrible moments there. He's going to get through the chicane. Oh, Death pretty neatly here. Then Dipshy just behind him. We have our first pit stop. It's not Bud, but it's Blue Gas. And is he? I think he's just parked it. There's no work being done on that car right now. No repairs, no tires, no fuel, just parked. So some breakdown there in the car, and the teams decided they're not going to continue for the evening. Our leader, Shred, do you think he's worried now that Super S2K is in second? Oh, I just passed Arrow. We missed the battle. I didn't think he was going to get him that fast, but apparently he did. I wonder, probably, it seemed like it might have just happened. McNaughty, did you hit the button? Do you think we have a replay? We'll try. Let's see. Nah, it's done.
I just messed up.
Done and away. Oh, well. That's too bad. Well, Super S2K into second place. So now 9.2 seconds to Shred. And now I wonder, is Shred worried? They're both on the medium tire. I think I might have seen somebody on softs. However, have you noticed anybody on softs out here?
In terms of the start, I know Alicos at the very least did. His rears are really starting to hurt right now, and I feel bad for him, right? Because if you were going to start on softs for this race, you probably were hoping to be, in the top 5 by the time you have to do your first pit stop, because now he has to work with the mediums on the second half of the race while everyone around him is in a softer compound.
Yeah, that's right. And it does matter at this track. It's a pretty fast track, but it does have a lot of braking zones as well. So, like you said, it's a track that suits a mix of cars. And typically, what that also means is that you're going to get a mix of just high speed straights, but also a lot of that tire shredding stuff where, like, these high speed S's here. I mean, these definitely eat up the tires. You got hard braking zones, 3 hairpins, um, that you have to brake hard for. One chicane that requires hard braking. Yeah, you don't want to be on the worst compound out there and not have track position, right? Not be way up front or something like that.
Absolutely.
Well, the chase is on. Super S2K has definitely run away from Arrow. He's broken his toe. So he is chasing Shred down for second place. Behind these two, we've still got Ando and Stig running together, but not going at it. Maybe a little bit of cooperation for now. For now, which you do like. Let's run away from Nuke down there in sixth place. Rusty Maggots, just more S7R drivers who may or may not be on the same team in the championship here. A lot of them on a recovery drive. Rusty's on the softs, and those don't look great. So probably will be getting off of them in the next few laps here to take some fresh mediums, and that spin certainly didn't help him early on in the race. He's only P7 and with no chance really on pace to catch anyone. I don't think he's doing mid 39s. That was a 40. So that was, oh no, that wasn't a 40. Okay, that was just a quick glitch. So mid 39s for Rusty right now. Nuke ahead of him on the mediums is doing 40s. So actually maybe Rusty does still stand a chance to catch him before he pits. He's only 2 seconds behind him, and he's beating him by half a second a lap.
It's very much possible, and I think that's exactly what Rusty really needs to do, right? Because the second he gets on those mediums, he is on a very significant disadvantage. I mean, Nuke is a pro-am, but he's no slouch in his car either, and I feel like if Nuke is able to stay ahead by the time both him and Rusty have to go into the pits, barring no incidents or spins, Nuke has a good chance at retaining his sixth place from Rusty.
Agreed. Or even if Rusty passes, I think if he doesn't get far enough away, then yeah, Nuke stands a chance there. So just really, really bad luck for these drivers. I don't remember exactly how Rusty's first incident happened, but I do remember he tagged Yagami when Yagami had that spin out here, and he got into the back of I think it was Maverick, maybe, that he was behind going through the chicane there. Hot Air, has Hot Air had a quiet race?
Probably not.
Probably not. We just can't remember. So much has happened. Right. And it's so hard for me to do commentary and take notes at the same time. I have no notes on what's been happening because for a minute there were just no breaks. It'd be like somebody would spin and you'd be like, oh, and look at them, and now they're recovering, and then behind them there's another. Yeah, it's insane. The Truth, Maverick, we've already kind of gone through and checked on these drivers. Just see how they do. I mean, some of them are going to choose to fuel save, and we'll see what happens after these pit stops, how the grid looks. Are drivers going to be able to bunch back up? Will we see some passes made in the pits? I don't know, but there's a lot of work to do for some of these drivers. Alikos, who was on a podium just 2 weekends ago in this race, sits in 13th, and it, for all intents and purposes, is last place right now. As we had rider disconnect, we had Blue Gas sitting in the pits right now. He's no longer participating, so Alikos just running alone to pick up 13th place points.
Yeah, I mean, he was fighting for a podium at the beginning of the race before his incident.
He sure was. He sure was. Just his untimely demise. And I didn't realize he's pitted. So he's got fresh mediums and he's fueled up. So that 12 and a half second gap to 12th place that you see there is actually not real. His track position is more truly closer, probably to, I think it was 10th place is where he was when we last left off with him. But he's gone ahead and jumped in early to get on some fresh tires and see if he can gain some time and clean air on the track. Makes sense to me. And we'll see where he ultimately ends up when everyone else pits.
Here goes into the pits as well as Rusty.
Yep. So Rusty was on the softs. Was Hot Air on the softs? Where is he? I can't see him.
10th.
Got it. P10.
I believe he was on the mediums, if I remember correctly.
Nope. But who's that with a... Oh, yeah. Man. Hot Air comes out of the pits with a 3-second penalty. That's huge. He is on the soft tire. Not only does he come out with a 3-second penalty, he comes out of traffic behind Rusty Maggots, who's also pitted, but he's on the racing medium, so he's not on as fast a tire. Hot Air. This pit stop did not go the way you wanted it to, I'm sure. So even if he's able to get past Rusty here, he's still got 3 seconds to serve. I'm sure he wants to get past him, though. This is only slowing him down, and he clearly can't afford to be slowed down any longer. Does he know Rusty's on the medium? Not sure, but doesn't clatter into the back of him going into that hairpin there. So well done for him. He will be faster through the chicane. He'll want to be careful. We saw that catch Ryder out earlier in the race when he was much faster through someone in the chicane. Oh gosh! And P12 NVR Bud into the wall in the chicane. Do we have a replay? Oh, that was bad. He didn't even maintain momentum. He just came to a complete stop there. Sheesh. And you can't get that 911 to break traction, not on racing mediums. So a long 3, maybe 4-point U-turn will be needed here. Oh, he just turns in too soon, tries to correct it, gets onto that curb, which the 911 really hates. Ask me how I know. And just into the wall there. You actually, the 911 doesn't like eating that curb in the chicane of death. You have to compromise it. You can't really smack it the way you would in some other cars. Meanwhile, the Corvette takes it like a truck. I mean, doesn't care. It's like a stadium super truck out there. It just eats it up. Nom, nom, nom. He's going to go ahead and jump into the pits now. Figures, hey, let's salvage what we can. Let's try to get on the soft tire. We're a little over halfway through the race. Most people on the mediums are staying out there. It does feel a little soon to take the soft tire, I think. But I mean, when you've had issues, I guess you just try to do something different. What else can you do except like, hey, maybe I can get on this soft, run some really fast laps without any traffic or any issues, and make them last well enough to the end. But you don't know. S7R Arrow is in from 3rd place. The Stig is in from 4th. Oh, that's someone joining and leaving the room. Okay. I thought someone disconnected, but Arrow will come out first, and it does come out on that soft tire. Let's see where he comes out. It looks like he comes out in P4 behind Ando, so didn't lose too much. I didn't realize he was so far ahead of Ando. Ando's pitted. That's why. Okay, I didn't see that Ando had pitted for the softs. Got it. So that is that means Ando beat him out of the pits. But Ando also took less fuel, a lot less fuel. Will he be saving, or did he accidentally underfuel?
At this point of the track, or at this point in the race, I feel like Ando probably has a good plan under his belt and will definitely save a little bit of fuel, especially on these opening laps while his tires get into the correct operating range. But I don't think Ando will have much of an issue in terms of fuel for the rest of this race.
Okay, got it. You heard it. Well, Ando is a pro and he's been in the pro lobby. Arrow, not so much. Maybe Arrow isn't as good on fuel as this old veteran Ando. We'll see how it works out at the end of the race here. Ooh, that felt sketchy. Our two leaders are in. Shreds in. Super AMS will follow him and not give him a chance to try to run away on fresh soft tires, following the same strategy they are. Shred came out. I didn't see how much fuel he took. Looks like he went to about halfway. Super S2K went to a little bit over the halfway mark for fuel. Not too much of a difference between them there. I think that might just be a matter of uh, reflexes and hitting the button. But Super AMS on the prowl, and he does come out 10 seconds behind Shred. So he did lose time in getting the extra fuel there, but I think he needed it. I think he had to use more to get himself back up in the podium contention. Let's see who hasn't pitted. Hot Air's gotten himself past Rusty. Okay, well. Oh, Hot Air. Hot Air got himself past Rusty after coming out of the pits behind him and taking a 3-second penalty, but just had a moment in the grass there and now finds himself behind Rusty again and in the clutches of S7R's The Truth Serum, who will try to duck into the inside for the first of the S's. Hot Air, if he stays with him, will have the inside for the next one, but he has to get a run up the hill here. He does, but the Truth could still get an undercut. He doesn't. Hot Air able to maintain enough momentum and speed there to keep his 8th place position. The Truth will challenge into the hairpin here, deep on the brakes. What a move for the Truth. Nice and neat through at the apex. Hot Air has no choice but to accept. They're going into the chicane of death now. He dares not try a move here, but maybe he can get a run out of the chicane and into the last corner. He does get a run. I think he's got a better exit out of there, but is it going to be enough to let him challenge into the final corner? I don't think so. He's got to tuck in behind the Truth, and that move is made. Pass done. He will have another chance in the turn 1, but man, what a pass by Truth there. Let's see if Hot Air does try something into the first chicane. If not, I'd love to see a replay of the pass on him into that downhill, that hairpin at the bottom of the hill. We need corner names, man.
Well, you see, now Truth and Hot Air are both on the soft tires, while their opponent, Rusty, in 7th, is on the medium. So while Rusty was able to get that position back, Truth and Hot Air still have the standing advantage, and I think they will keep this advantage all the way to the end of the race. I don't see the softs dropping that much, at least for the last 10 laps.
No, I don't think so either. Let's go ahead and check out that replay now. There's no move in the turn 1, but certainly Hot Air is going to want that move, going to want that position back. But let's see what happened there. 1 lap ago. Here's the Truth fighting with Hot Air into the S's there up the hill. Hot Air able to maintain enough speed, but then the Truth right here, deep on the brakes. I think there was a little bit of a touch there. Hot Air looks to get the undercut. He's not going to be able to make it happen. Truth using the fact that that corner opens up to really get on the gas and get away from him. And here they are fighting again. Hot Air now has a nose up on the Truth coming into the last corner. Rusty is also involved in the melee and may become a victim himself as Hot Air tucks in the inside of him at the apex. He's able to out accelerate Truth out of the corner. He does get ahead of him, but is it enough? These cars are pretty evenly matched. They're the same car. Oh my gosh, they're literally touching bumpers here. Rusty, a chicane in front of them with those medium tires. Hot Air looking for a place to go. He's not able to tuck into the inside of the corner there, but the Truth had a look, wasn't able to make it happen either. But Hot Air really needs to get around Rusty, or else the Truth will take this position from him. I see it happening. Hot Air desperate to get out of this melee on his racing soft tires. Rusty just happy to be in the way. He's got the medium. He's got nothing to gain if he lets these guys pass him right now. Into the S's they go. Rusty will have trouble keeping momentum in comparison to the cars behind. But again, because of the way the racing line works out, they're not able to get past him. Surely Hot Air will have to make a dive here in the braking zone on him, and he does 3 wide into the hairpin there. The Truth gets the position. P7 for the Truth. Hot Air not giving it up. We also have a battle for a lead going on. For the lead going on here, we're going to go ahead and go to P2 or P1 rather. I think Hot Air's got that. Oh, we were wrong. Not a battle for the lead. We'll come back here. Hot Air into P7 over Rusty, the Truth behind him into P8. Both of them get past Rusty on those medium tires, but man, that was scary for Hot Air. Every time he made a move on Rusty or tried to, the Truth was right there like, hey, if you make a mistake, make a mistake. I dare you. Wow, these two not letting each other go. I don't think Rusty is going to maintain his position as part of this battle, but they're now 2 wide into the first chicane. No, I think maybe it was the camera angle. Yeah, Hot Air using up all of it. The Truth looks for the cutback. He's not able to get ahead of, oh, he does just get ahead of him to the inside for the kink. As long as he can brake just fine for this first hairpin, he'll be fine. And sure enough, the Truth now into 7th place. This battle is hot. It's back and forth between these two. That's actually keeping Rusty in the picture, but I don't think he can really get into the fight unless one of these two drivers makes a huge mistake. Hot Air will be doing everything he can to follow closely through the S's, through this dirty air here with the Truth. Can he come back on him in this corner? The Truth goes defensive. Realizes Hot Air is not close enough to make the move. He gets back on the racing line, follows the line, breaks nice and neat through the hairpin, and they will head towards the chicane of death for the 22nd time of 29. It's getting hot. We're running out of laps. I want to go see if we have any other battles. I think this one is somewhat settled down. I'm lying like shit. It's not settled down at all, is it? I shouldn't go. And I don't think I will. Oh man, Hot Air, rescue me. I've been talking a lot. Okay, then don't rescue me. That's fine. I said Hot Air. I'm sorry. I meant hover. I said Hot Air. I meant hover. See, I was in need. I need to be saved.
Apologies. I'll take over for a little bit. Truth is still ahead with a little bit of a gap, around 5/10. Hot Air losing any sort of space and time from Truth, but he makes a little bit of a mistake. Isn't enough for Hot Air to do anything to reclaim his position, but Hot Air is still on the prowl. Truth may have the pace advantage right now, but if he doesn't control his tire wear to the correct point, Hot Air can easily get him back. And I think there's another car a little bit ahead. I believe that is Nuke, 1 or 2 seconds ahead of them. Absolutely, 2 seconds, and he is on the softs. He is falling back into the clutches of Truth and Hot Air, and I think we will see another battle between these 3, if not 4 drivers, if Rusty is able to close up for 6th place.
Man, so one NVR driver versus several S7R drivers who I think a couple of which are teammates here in the championship as well. Just man, Hot Air has not been able to catch a break, has he? Ooh, and he clatters into the wall coming out of the chicane. That's huge. He's gonna get passed by Rusty. He's gonna lose a ton of time. He's got front end damage, both left and right tires, and the front splitter. And that I think that might be it for Hot Air. I mean, that's a huge hit. We're late in the race here. I think 9th place. He's gonna have to settle. He came out on those softs. He came out in traffic behind Rusty. Came out with that 3-second penalty. He eats the penalty. He gets past Rusty, slams into the wall, gets behind Rusty again, barely passes him, and now hits a wall again. It's just not been his race. It's not been his race.
Unfortunately, no, it's been a bit of a disaster all evening, but there were some highlights for his run. You know, him getting into 7th, you know, even with all the mistakes, is certainly no small feat. So, as much as Hot Air may not get the result that he wants at the end of the night, I think he definitely had some good parts of his driving tonight, especially in the sprint race.
Oh yeah, yeah. He looked great in the sprint race. Definitely had some really good moments there. But man, the Dragon Trail has reared its ugly head and taken out a lot of drivers. It's taken out our best drivers. The second place driver, who actually we should check on P2 right now to see how close Super AMS is to Shred. It's still 10.2 seconds. It was 10 seconds when they pitted. So Shred has been able to maintain its position. I guess Shred's really good on that soft tire. Maybe Super S2K's had some moments. Let's see. Pitted lap 18. 19 is his out lap. You can tell he's got a 38.4, then a 37.4, a 37 flat, a 36.9, fastest lap just 2 laps ago, and then another 36.9 behind it. So, I mean, he's gotten quicker, but Shred has stayed ahead of him somehow. And the math isn't really mathing actually when I look at it, because Shred is doing slower laps. So maybe something happened to Super S2K in this lap and we just haven't accounted for the time lost yet. Because I can't explain why he's still 10.6 seconds behind Shred.
I think that lap 19, because I know they pitted on the same lap, so I think lap 19, their out lap, Super S2K just had a significantly, well, not significantly, but a little bit worse, and that is basically Super S2. All the time that Super S2K is gaining on Shred was time that he lost on that out lap.
Got it. Got it. The difference between their out laps was a little less than a second, but then Shred did immediately get up to pace, running 37.3 the very next lap. Someone's facing the wrong way, and they've already started facing the right way again, but someone is going very slow. Ando will catch whoever that person was. So, well, yeah, it's Bud. It's Bud, our Pro-Am driver. He's in the 911 there, and he's about to get lapped by Ando, so he should be getting blue flags waved at him now. We'll probably see some marshals waving the blue flags, or see a digital blue flag somewhere on this track. But NVR Bud not having a great race here, but he's a Pro-Am, so he wasn't really expected to be anywhere in like the top 10 or anything like that. He's just, he's here helping fill the lobby and getting a race in and seeing where he is going to finish. And I think he should probably be getting out of the way now. Is he not getting blue flags? Actually, I haven't seen any marshals. Do we have marshals at Croatian tracks? They're right there. They just don't have flags. Okay.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Toddy. There was no yellow flags. Oh, I think flag rolls were turned off.
That's probably a mistake there by the room host, but yeah, because Bud has not gotten himself out of the way. He's a little slower to the chicane there, though, so naturally gets out of the way for Ando by making a mistake in the chicane, and he really should let S7R Arrow go, but since he didn't for Ando, I wonder if that's going to have implications for his run here in his attempt to take third place from Ando. Ando came out of the pits so far ahead of him. Clearly Arrow has done the work to catch back up, but now he's got this back marker in between them, and that back marker, while giving him a nice slip, might not let him through in the more technical sector here as we come through turn one and these slower sections that might let Ando really run away with it as we start lap 27 of 29. Stig giving Bud the warning, hey, blue flag. So Stig Xander both on track and stewarding this thing, I guess. He must be listening to us. But yeah, Bud gets out of the way, reads the warning, gets out of the way, lets Arrow pass. So, oh, no. Yeah, he did. No, he didn't. He didn't. He seemed to be getting out of the way, but Arrow is still behind him. Not sure how to explain that. There he goes. He comes all the way off track to let him pass. Now, Arrow now 1.8 seconds behind Ando, and that's certainly going to hurt his attempt to get up on the podium in his first race in the pro lobby. But even if he doesn't, I mean, wow, what a run he's had in this race, right?
Absolutely. And while definitely in the sprint race, right, he only finished where he qualified in. Getting up all the way to like I think sixth or seventh is definitely no small feat, especially at the beginning of a race.
For sure. I think it might have been sixth, maybe even fifth, because he was up to seventh by like the second sector of the first lap, where he started in ninth, and then I think he gained another couple positions from there. But yeah, ultimately finished right where he started in ninth place. But certainly made his presence known in that race and in this one. He got up front and has maintained his place up there the entire time. Let's see here. I'm just going through the order. Looking at our back markers, nothing to really report there. It's all mostly the same stuff. Um, but it's going to go ahead and park it as well. So our second AM driver to go ahead and put it in the pits. I don't know why. You're almost done. You might as well finish it out. But I suppose sometimes nature calls. Could be a little pee break. Shred has only picked up time on Super S2K. So yeah, on the soft tires, really meaning he's going to pick up his second endurance win here. As long as he maintains what he's doing, he doesn't need to push it, just bring it home. There's no way Super S2K can catch him on pace. Super S2K, a fantastic drive all the way up into the front of the race, and then falling down to, I think it was P7 or something like that, and then made his way back up into P2, but he's not quite been able to make the run for the win here. But he will take second place points away, as he is 17 seconds ahead of Ando, and he's going to start the final lap here. Ando, meanwhile, was under attack by Arrow, but no more. Arrow now 6.4 seconds behind Ando. So even after Bud let him by, something must have happened to him, because his last lap was a 1:43.7. So a huge mistake for Arrow there. He will not be able to fight for that podium position. He'll start the last lap, but should be really proud of himself to pick up fourth place. We'll see how it goes for him. Do we have any battles behind these guys? Stig kind of running alone. The Truth is not too far behind him, but it's 2.5 seconds is that gap. They're both on the racing soft tire. Nuke is pretty far behind him as well. Rusty is not too far behind him though. 1.3 seconds in eighth place. Hot Air sits in ninth. Like I said, I think that's all he's going to get. He's 3 seconds behind Rusty, and it seems that even when he gets past, he can't stay past him. So just going to bring it home. I think just bring the car home. Maverick sits in 10th place as he comes towards the start-finish line for the second to last time. Dipshy and Alikos also just chilling. Alikos really not having a great race. 20 something seconds back. We are now looking at P1. Shred, he's about to cross the line for the win. His second endurance win in a row for Shredder. Maximum points for him for that. That's 40 points now that he gains, and Wid has gained 0 points. Again, we do have to see where they will close out with the championship after the third drop round. Sorry, I didn't mention S2K crossing the line for second. That's my bad. But here comes Ando into third place. A podium for Ando. I don't think we've had him on the podium all season long. S7R Arrow, first race as a pro driver. Well, first race in the pro lobby as a Pro-Am driver, finishes P4 and in style. And then here comes Stick Xander, our leader. He's gonna cross the line just ahead of the Truth here in fifth place. The Truth will take sixth. Didn't these two also have a drag race for the finish last round? Can't remember. Nuke will take seventh place, just ahead of teammate S7R Rusty Maggots in eighth. NVR Hot Air in ninth place. And then his teammate NVR Maverick is coming into the final corner now in that beautiful Ferrari livery. Nice anime livery on his Ferrari, rather. And then just behind him, Dipshy, who is another one of our Pro-Am drivers and one of the few to finish the race in 11th place. Alikos will actually not take the official checkered flag. He doesn't quite finish Yeah, he finished a lap down. NVR Bud and Blue Gas will finish in the pits. Our winner is Shred. Shred again. I'm sure he's very, very, very happy about that. I just saw a message in the Discord about the race entitled Pure Chaos. And yes, yes, it was. We're not entitled. That's what the message said. Certainly in the beginning, it was chaotic, but you know what? It did settle down. Drivers got it together. We didn't see too many more deaths in the chicane. Maybe a couple folks caught out by curbs, but for the most part, all the real wildness happened in the very beginning of the race. We'll go over the finish order one more time. We got Shred up front, Super S2K in second, Ando in third, S7R's Arrow in fourth place, the Stig in fifth, S7R The Truth in sixth, S7R Nuke in seventh, S7R Rusty Maggots in eighth place. In ninth, we have NVR Hot Air, NVR Maverick in 10th, Dipshy in 11th, Alicos in 12th, NVR Bud in 13th, Blue Gas in 14th, and Ryder, who did not finish, in 15th place there. Yagami, not good for the championship there to have not finished out the race, but I think it was a pretty rough race for him for sure.
I think it was
Oh,
for everyone. Didn't
it was rough for everyone. I'm gonna take a sip of water before I jump into the interview room. Um, but we're still waiting on drivers to jump into that room anyway. But man, what a race, what a show that was. I didn't expect it to go like that at all, not even a little bit.
Meaning,
We go to a short break, it sounds like, actually, before we get into the interviews. So hang tight for us. We'll be right back.
Would you say that we're muddy right now?
All right, guys, we are back. Thank you so much for hanging on for us. We're in the interview room now with our podium drivers, our podium winners. We're actually going to start with P1 tonight. Shred, another endurance win for you. Second one in a row here. Did you expect the win in this one?
No. Well, I don't know. I didn't know what to expect.
Didn't know what to
That
expect.
was
Probably not the chaos that happened in the beginning.
Yeah, no, that was you put all the rats in a cage and hop them up on steroids and see what the hell happened. I don't know what that was.
Well,
Good lord. I'm pretty sure I saw the entire field in front of me spin out. Like the amount of people that went off, and then people behind me went off, and somebody hit the shit, and I was like, "What the hell is happening?" I was in ninth, and then I'm the second, and like four corners later. I don't know, dude.
yeah, I'll be honest. I don't even think we caught on camera exactly how you got where you got. But you did. You were able to survive it. Congratulations and get through. And then it was just a
Yeah,
matter.
no, I did an oopsie, and then I had to let the oopsie person pass, and that's when I dropped because I dropped myself back because I just pulled a brain fart of a move and it wasn't on.
I
So
see. I
I
see.
had to get the
Gotcha.
position back, but then it was like, oh god, what is happening? 'Cause, yeah, like two people spun out in front of me in the same corner, and then like SDK went off, and then like Ryder went off like twice apparently. So I don't know.
Listen, it all worked out for you. So, I guess that's what matters because you could have been caught up in any of that. Or, it happened so early in the race, you could have not kept the position that you did, but you ended up winning this thing. Congratulations. You definitely earned the win. I think I'm going to pass it to Hover to see if you have any questions.
Yeah, Fred. Great results tonight. A P2 in the sprint, a P1 in the endurance, a great haul of points, and I'm not quite sure where you are with the third drop round yet to be calculated. But how are you feeling going into the final round? Do you think you can put yourself into a good position to snatch the title from Wood?
I'm taking Barcelona as well. I'm taking it's the Trial Mountain Sprint. I think will be dropped because I got sixth, and then the feature in Barcelona I got 10th. So in terms of like on the road, I have those, and then I have two rounds where I did not show up. So I feel good with my drop rounds because it's only like 18 points I'm losing, I think, in the whole thing. But I do feel good. I do feel good, and we're running Fuji next in the group three in what looks like intermediate weather so far, and a couple of us just did an endurance race at Fuji a couple months ago, so I feel pretty good with that.
All right. Well, great to hear. It's going to be a fun battle to watch. Going into the final round between you and Lid. But for tonight, congratulations. Hope you get a little bit of good rest from the chaotic race tonight. But overall, yeah, congrats on the results.
All right.
Nice job. Yeah, actually, you just answered another question that I was going to ask, which is if you had missed any rounds. And so you've missed two, and so has Wid. And so, got it. That part is all equal. Heard. Well, congratulations. And we hope to see you back in the booth next week or in a couple weeks, rather. AMS Super S2K, you took second place in this race. That was a really up and down race for you. I mean, you started P7. I think you made your way up to first by the end of the last lap. I think it was the last corner that you got up there. Maybe you were second. Either way, you were up front through all of that chaos that happened in the first lap. And then you got caught up in the second wave of chaos and fell back down the order, made it up to second. I wonder what happened there. Was it just simply you didn't have the pace on the softs? Because it looks like after the pit stops, you weren't able to make any headway on Shred from there.
I definitely think I had the pace. You can look at the lap times, but I lost a lot of time on the pit stop because, I mean, I was fuel saving the whole medium stint, but I was still 5 liters less compared to Shred, so my pit stop was a lot longer. I ended up losing, I think, 3 or 4 seconds because of that pit stop. And then on the soft tire, I just was driving, and then sometimes I'd have a slide. Sometimes the thing would just, kick out on me or some sliding going on. I mean, the setup wasn't solid enough, and I just wasn't driving good enough at the end of the race.
Got it. Got it. Well, getting back up in the second place is still no easy feat for sure. Because, like I said, you got up there and then you fell back down the order. And I think the second time around, you pretty much had to earn your way back up to where you ended up, back up in the second place. I don't think anyone had any big spins in front of you there. Sorry to hear that it just wasn't working out for you to battle it out for first place, but another huge chunk of points taken off the board by you, again winning the sprint and winning the endurance race. It's basically a repeat, or not winning, but second place in the endurance, basically a repeat of last round.
Yeah, repeat of parting ways for Shred to pass me clean. So yeah.
Gotcha. Hover, do you have anything for Super S2K?
Yeah, I mean, another great round of results. Just like last round, you get P1 and a P2. Did you feel a bit more comfortable in the Group 4 at Gardens compared to the Group 3 in Seaside? Or, which one of the two track combos did you feel a bit more comfortable in tonight?
Well, I get you can tell from where I finished probably what I was a little more comfortable in. I was way more comfortable in the group four. Um, I was able to just extract a little more out of it. And I was able to save the right front a little bit more, I think, than everyone else, which kind of helped me hold my pace. Um, but in the group three, I wasn't uncomfortable in the group three. It was a bit aggravating to drive at some points because in order to drive that Mercedes fast enough to where you can drive to Aston Martin. Like if you have two good drivers, so like in the scenario, me and Shred, um, he can set up his car really loose, but his car drives very smoothly. And I have to counter that by also having my car equally as loose. So and then Mercedes just doesn't handle the looseness as good as I think the Vantage. So I mean, I'm not going to say the car was all of it, but equally the driver the car combo just wasn't comparable to Shred today. So
All right. I mean, hey, still a P2 despite the mistake and going down to P7. Still a great result. And you know, uh, whatever happens, I hope to see you in the final round and give Fred and Wit a good run for their money. So congrats for tonight.
thank you.
Yeah, and then I thought I saw Ando had joined, but now I don't see him in the room. Is he still in here with us?
Nope.
Oh, it wasn't him. Got it. Got it. It was someone else. Okay. All right. Well, we don't get Ando today. Nice podium for Ando. I was gonna say it's his first, but actually, I think maybe very early on in the season we might have had him in the room here. We've had so many rounds so far, but thank you, Shred and Super S2K for joining us tonight. We've had a lot of talking between us and you guys this season, and I expect we will have one more conversation in this next round that we have coming up here in Japan. We will be at the great Fuji Speedway at the foot of Fujisan Mountain. I love this track. 2 races here. We'll have the GR3s for the sprint race and the SF23 open wheel single seater open wheel car for the actual endurance race. So 2 great combos. Can't wait for those. And I think our championship will be determined there as well for the pro lobby. So don't miss it. Thank you again for coming, everyone. The GR Cup is brought to you by Trails End. Hit them up for all your custom construction needs. I have been Dirty Tati. I will say goodnight to you now. Hovercraft, my fellow commentator, a good night from you too.
Thank you for having me tonight, guys. I hope everyone had a great evening tonight. Hopefully our stream did, a good boost to that as well. Thank you to McNally for our production. If you guys didn't know, his own series, NRL, just finished up yesterday, so he's probably very tired from all the broadcasting, but we thank you very much, McNally, for all the work that you put in for our series, and we hope that Season 7 for your series happens fairly soon. But yeah, hope everyone had a great night tonight.
Yes, everyone go watch that final, by the way. The NRL finals from yesterday were fantastic. Go check them out. They're on this channel. We'll see you next time.
No.